G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Friday and it's the show and tell day. So today I've got a couple of neat items for us to check out. So let's have a look at them, eh? Crank that around and see what happens. Welcome back to the channel guys, it's good to see you. Sorry I've been a bit slack on the videos lately. I haven't actually been very well. I've had a few physical health problems, but we're getting on top of that, so yeah, apologise for that. Yes, today I've got this beautiful lantern here. It's called a Sunflame. I believe it's from about 1950 to 55 it dates back to. There's two types of these lanterns, one that is labelled with AGM, American Gas Machine, and then there's this one here that doesn't hit, is labelled Sunflame. I believe this is from the Akron, basically Akron factory. So that's from my research anyway, that Sunflame actually bought out Akron's plant in about 1948. And this was part of that, was the design of this particular lantern here. So I'm pretty pleased to have got this lantern. It's different from my regular Coleman lantern. It's nice to have something different shape. It's got the lovely burgundy top on it here too, which is one of my favourite little colours that I haven't actually got on a lantern before, so I was pretty happy to get that. And yeah, so I've already actually fired this up at home. When I got it, everything seemed to function okay. The only thing that didn't function was the pump cup, so I just unscrewed the couple of little screws there, pulled that out, and got a bit of oil on that, and that fixed that. I think it's, I believe it's operating pretty good now. We'll just have another look. And, oh yeah, she's still operating pretty good there on that. So what I was intending on doing with this was actually giving it a wee polish up. I've got some polishing compound there. I'm just using a bit of a product called Autosol today to clean this up. So this lantern here I believe is chrome as opposed to nickel. I think the nickel ones they stopped making in around about 48, 49, and then they come out with the chrome version. So we'll just give this a wee bit of a polish up. Got a cloth here. Bit of polish on the cloth here. See how much of a shine we can get on it, eh? Try not to get it on my good pants. Oh, yeah, this looks like it's going to come up quite nice actually. Nice. It's actually in surprisingly good condition, this lantern, which is really nice when it's in good condition. Saves a lot of hard work. It seems to be coming up quite nicely. Yeah, so the location where we are here, it's a nice little marina. It's Carey's Bay, which is just around from Port Chalmers and Dunedin. The fishing boats and yachts just behind me here. It's a wee bit of a breezy day today, but it's not too bad. Thought this would be a nice spot to come and film it. Just it's got a nice outlook. Yes, that's actually coming up quite nice. Some bits might need a bit more. It's not too bad. I'll just put a bit more polish on there. Squeeze a bit more out of here. I'm almost out on this tube actually. I've got a bit more there. Should have enough for the job. Let's try and get around this fuel cap area here. Just put it on with this cloth. I've got another cloth to buff it off in a minute or two once I get it on. Yes, it's actually quite a nice lantern. This lantern came with a tank of gas, kerosene, full tank of kerosene, and had a mantle on it, so it was quite nice. I meant to use one of my mantles. It was already on there. So it's a bit more of a polish up. Another cloth there now. We'll give it a bit of a buff off and see how we go there. Yeah, it's going to come up quite nicely. Just finish buffing this up, and then I'll get a bit of Evolator Spirits in there and prime it up and fire it up and show you guys what it looks like. So it'd be interesting to know if any of you guys know a bit about the history of AGM and this Sunflame lantern here. There's quite a bit of confusion on the research that I did on a couple of the lantern sites. It's kind of a bit of a grey area as far as who actually manufactured this. I think the later ones, like I was saying, had AGM written on them, the American Gas Machine. This one here doesn't, it just has Sunflame written on it. Yeah, so that's got a bit of a shine onto it now. It's not too bad there now. Show you that. Hey. I might as well throw a bit of Evolator Spirits in there and fire it up for these guys so you can see how beautiful it is. Just about prime there. Crank that valve a quarter turn. Flick that round, see how we go there, eh? Mess is still burning away there. So the other interesting item I have today is this here, which is apparently a Coleman stove. I've never known about this model before. It's actually got the same model as another stove, but it's totally different from what I'm used to. It's actually made under license to Coleman, this particular one, which some things were. In England they made a few different Coleman stoves that were under license and lanterns. I think I've had a lantern on here on this show before, which was a English-made Coleman lantern. So this is an English-made Coleman stove that's in a little tin. Quite unusual. I'll just take the bits and bobs out here. So we've got a little windbreaker here. Made out of a light bit of brass. It's the burner, part of the burner assembly there. There's the what's called the lipstick, which is the piece that goes from the fount to the burner assembly, part of the burner assembly. Here's the actual little stove. Yeah, so there it is there. It's actually a Coleman Sol June number 533 stove. Made in England. Nice little compact stove. Similar to, I guess, one of the Primuses or Optimus stoves. Just a tiny little stove. They come with a few bits and pieces in this tin here. Some instructions, which are a bit hard to read because I think they must have got a bit of kerosene spilled on them over the years. But they're still there, which is quite nice. Got the pot stands, got up the flame spreader here. It came with 4 pot stands, so it came with an extra one here. The spanner. And an extra little fuel cap for capping off the fuel for transportation, but this is not the original one. The original one's actually still on here, but I haven't been able to get that off it. I need to find a small coin to fit in there, or a screwdriver that I can undo with that carefully. It's quite sort of stuck on there at the moment. You normally would put that over on here when you packed it down to transport it. You keep your kerosene inside. So there's no kerosene in here at the moment, so I'll just assemble this and we'll put some kerosene in it and see if we can fire it up, eh? There's a bit of a struggle here today with the wind. I've just assembled this, and I've put a bit of methylated spirits in there, so, and I've fueled it up with some kerosene, so we'll just try and get this to prime up there in the wind. It's quite an unusual thing. The 533 stove that I'm used to is an American made Coleman stove, very different from this, which is a brass one, made in England of course. It's quite different. One thing I did notice that's unusual about this, most of these brass stoves, I have quite a lot of them, have a little air vent on the fuel cap there, but this one doesn't actually have one. The idea was to have it open while you prime it and then shut it down. This one doesn't have that, so hopefully it'll run okay. Just trying to warm it up at the moment and get a bit of a prime going on it. So I've just re-primed it there, it didn't quite work. So what I've actually done is I've loosened this cap off here, this fuel cap, to allow the thing to heat up first. Then I'll tighten the fuel cap up and give it some pumps once it's sort of primed up enough there. There you go guys, I've got a go on there. Hard to see of course because it's running blue. We've got the wind contending with the wind here as well. Seems like it's going to be a good wee stove. Just got blown out in the wind. Oh guys, that wraps it up for today's episode of the Silver Peaks Wanderer Friday show and tell. Sorry about the background noise. There's a operating wharf behind me. They're just shipping containers around, so I hope you can still hear me. We'll catch you in the next episode. Should be some hiking videos coming up this week, hopefully. We'll catch you later. Cheers.